So why should Ubisoft be afraid of being taken over right now? Imagine Far Cry Primal with microtransactions. And why the hell does this platformer look so good? Hipsters? I'm blaming them. Let's answer those questions right now.
Hold up.
Hey everyone, here's everything awesome that happened in this week's gaming. Welcome to another week of destruction. So we're going to be talking about the Grim Dawn release, Cyberpunk 2077 news. We're also going to be talking about a brand new game that just recently came out like a day ago, Vivendi trying to take over Ubisoft. And lastly, the Heroes of the Storm Necromancer. Let's get into it. Okay, so guys, it's official. Grim Dawn has finally been released. Now, I know a lot of you guys already know about Grim Dawn. It's an action RPG. We even had the chance to hang out with the developers on this channel as well. But for you guys who aren't familiar with it or haven't played it in a while, let me catch you guys up in some, dot point facts. So here we go. The game is built off a customized version of the old Titan Quest engine. Been in development for a very long time now, and it once was a Kickstarter. Now, since the Kickstarter, they've added in quite a few extra features, including a brand new class, the new devotion system, which is kind of similar to Path of Exile's skill tree. A little bit different though. Some voice acting over the top of everything, some extra lore, and just overall balance in the game. Is it good? Yes, you should go and buy it if you don't own it already. Check it out, Grim Dawn. Now, we've got some brand new news about Cyberpunk 2077. Nothing crazy, but at least it's something. CD Projekt Red are being completely hush-hush about this game. So we've got the brand new composer, who I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name. This is his name. I'll put it up on the screen. His name's kind of like if you mashed your hands all over the keyboard. There you go, there's a last name for you, mate. But the good thing about having a last name like that is that if you get a spelling mistake or a typo, it doesn't matter, no one's going to notice anyway. This guy here is going to be the composer for Cyberpunk 2077. He's the same guy who worked on The Witcher 3, so I think it'll be interesting when you actually compare the score of The Witcher 3. It's kind of folky, Irishy, Gaelic, very traditional, classical as well. Whereas Cyberpunk 2077, I guess, will have to be a little bit more dramatic and electronic. You might have to go and buy a keyboard, dude. You can borrow mine if you want. Just make sure you bring it back.
Come touch me like I'm an ordinary man. Have a look in my eyes.
So the Necromancer is hitting Heroes of the Storm very soon. We're going to talk about the release date and some of the skills about this class. Let's get into it. Okay, so an official trailer came up on the Heroes of the Storm YouTube channel showing off Zul, the new Necromancer. We've spoken about him a lot, but I just want to really quickly touch on some of the skills and what got me excited. Number one is that his ultimates look amazing, with Poison Nova doing absolutely awesome damage from what I can see, although it is a damage over time and can be prevented with heals, but his secondary ultimate is pretty cool as well, summoning skeletal mages that do a lot of damage, but also slowing the enemy down. So far from the gameplay, it's got a nice balance between either going DPS or summoning build. There's also a ton of defensive stuff as well. Now, promises were made that the Necromancer will feature the most amount of builds, so I think this is really exciting, and what I've seen so far, it sounds pretty viable as well. Now, there's also a little bit of element of skill towards his attacks as well. It's not just kind of hang around and do a cho'Gall, if you know what I mean. But long story short, looks like the Necromancer's been hitting the gym. He's coming pretty soon. I was telling my friend I reckon it was going to come out last Wednesday, but it didn't, so I assume it's going to come out this Wednesday or Tuesday for you guys in the States. That's a complete guess though. This is one of those characters I think is actually going to be as good as advertised. I'm going to pick this bad boy up straight away. Start saving your heroes money bucks. Okay, so recently in another episode of The Week of Destruction, I talked about Vivendi and how they sold their last remaining shares of Activision Blizzard. Well, I also spoke about a rumor of an Ubisoft takeover, and Ubisoft has officially announced this. So what's going on is Vivendi currently own 15% of this company. Let's say you're a major shareholder in a company, it means that you get to pull the strings a little bit, the purse strings as well. You might even get on the board, whatever it is. So Ubisoft are a little bit concerned about this. There's talked about how they're trying to get other investors involved to not get taken over. But what you need to know about this is that the people who did already own shares in Ubisoft, they're probably stoked right now because they're going to sell for so much money. But what I will say is that when you do get a company like Vivendi pulling the strings from the top, you start to see things like an auction house in Diablo 3, which was essentially microtransactions to gain more power in the game, pay to win stuff. And that feature did eventually get taken out, but that's the type of shit that goes on. So yeah, it's not going to be very good for Ubisoft if Vivendi do actually get the major shareholding of that company. Let's see how it all works out. Now, last up for today, I wanted to introduce you guys to a game called Samorost 3. It's the 3rd edition to the title. So I have to say, this is one cool looking platformer. I recommend if you're watching this video and you're checking out the gameplay, or you want to go and check out the official trailer, which will be in the description below, turn it up to 1080p and have a look at it. The art design to me reminds me of, you know, like in SpongeBob, the old Ren and Stimpy cartoons, when they get those zoom in shots of the characters that are hand drawn in way more detail. It's kind of like that mixed with paste up art that you would see in London or somewhere like Harajuku, Tokyo. Like, it's really incredible, the design. Looks really cool. I think that you would enjoy this game a lot more if you had a hipster beard or were just a hipster. It's just a hipster game. The aesthetic and stylization of this game is incredible. So this game will be released on PC and Mac on March the 24th. As in, yeah, just around the corner. So go and check this one out when it does. Thanks for joining me as always, friends. Subscribe if you missed last week's episode. You can click right here. Or if you want to see some Diablo 2 gameplay, go and check this one out right here too. Go check them all out, in fact. See you later, guys. Catch you next time.